Hey guys, welcome back to Jurassic Collectibles. I hope you're all doing really well. Today we are super excited to be taking a closer look at this. It's the brand new Papo BARYONYX. Now I choose to get all of my dinosaurs from everythingdinosaur.com. This one isn't on sale there yet, but it will be very soon, so be sure to keep your eyes peeled and check out everythingdinosaur.com to pick this fine chap up. But without further ado, let's crack on with the review. So here is the brand new 2016 BARYONYX, the first model for 2016 from Papo, and probably the most anticipated because of its sheer size and also the fact that it's a fan favourite, the BARYONYX. My feelings are mixed about this one, straight off the bat. I think the paint job is a little bit sparse, and also the finish is a little bit off. But we'll get more into that in just a bit. I still think it's a fantastically detailed figure, and I'm very pleased I picked him up. So let's start off by taking a closer look at this guy. So starting off with the head sculpt, you can see we've got a really predatory looking BARYONYX, beautifully sculpted, and as usual Papo always deliver on the detail on the heads of their dinosaurs. A really lovely painted and detailed eye there, really beautiful. And as with most of their dinosaurs, this one does have an articulated jaw. Now the jaw opens super wide, really cool, and I really love the look of the interior of the mouth. Very, very flesh-like. It's got a translucency to these corner bits that really make it look like genuine flesh. So I think Papo have done a tremendous job. There's the interior of the roof of the mouth, and there's the tongue and the teeth. I think the teeth are a little bit white. They suffer from being a little bit bleached, but apart from that, this is a really cool looking head sculpt. As we move down the neck, you can see that we do have this bright orange going along the back of the neck with these brown spots against grey. I'm not sure how I feel about the brightness of this rust colour, but I think it's to compete with manufacturers like Schleich, who really are quite bold with their coloration. As we move down the arm, you can see some really nice clear definition of the musculature there. We've got really nice clawed fingers. Look at those detailed claws. Those are absolutely fantastic. It's part of what BARYONYX is known for, those finger claws for grabbing fish out of the water. As we move across the torso, you can see there's some lovely creases, and you can see the ribs through the skin there. Really, really nice. Really beautiful creases going on there. Really nicely sculpted belly. This area here for me feels a little bit sparse in terms of its detail. It's kind of like one flat colour, and I know there are mixtures of different greys going on here, but it just feels a little bit sparse to me. As we move across to the leg, really, really nice. You can see the hip bone protruding through there. Really nice clear musculature. And you'll notice that this dinosaur is quite glossy. It's got quite a glossy finish. It's like they've applied a clear coat over the top of the dinosaur, but on the underside not so glossy. It's there a little bit, but it's not as much as on the top. And I'm assuming that's to give it a wet look, because BARYONYX dwelled around and in rivers for catching its prey. You can see there beautifully sculpted toe claws and toes, very bird-like. The underside of the feet does have some literature, unfortunately, but that's okay. You don't see that half the time. Lovely sculpted scales on the back of the foot there. A really nice dew claw going on. Really nicely weathered and painted. And then as we come up to the tail, you can see you've got some really nice spikes going on along the back. My only feeling is that this area just feels a little bit simplistic in its paint scheme. You've got this orange fading out to this grey to this brown. It just feels a little bit too clear cut for my liking. As we move down the tail, really lovely sculpt work going on, and I don't have a problem with the sculpt, it's more the paint job on this one. You can see we've got a little area of sharper spikes or longer spikes coming out here, and then it goes up into this little orange flick at the end. On the opposite side, that continues down. Nice brown colour against this grey. There's a darker grey being used underneath here. Again, really nicely sculpted legs, clear musculature there. Really beautifully sculpted feet, and there is a really clear contrast in the pose. This leg is extended and this one is bent, so you've got a nice contrast in the pose. Again, you can see the ribs coming through the chest there. There's that bright orange coming in again. beautifully sculpted hand and arm, and you can see the tense muscles in the neck there. Really, really cool. And then we come back up to that head, and actually there's a nice bit of flesh hanging down here from under the chin as well, and also under the head. Really nice detail going on there. I don't know if you can balance maybe on those two, but I can't get him to balance correctly with that foot planted firmly on the ground. And the result of that is we have a bit of a tripod dinosaur, which I know some of you complain about. And I don't think that's intentional on Papo's part. I think they meant for this to be standing on its two legs. But unfortunately, because this foot doesn't plant firmly on the ground, we do have a bit of a tripod dinosaur going on. Okay, so how big is this guy? Let's bring in the tape measure. You're looking at about 13 inches long, which is about 33 centimeters. And in terms of the height, you're looking at about 7 inches, which is about 18 centimeters. Okay, size comparison time. Let's bring in the Papo Classic Spinosaurus, a fan favorite, and I'm sure a lot of you own this one already. You can see they come up to about the same height, and they look really nice next to each other, seeing as they come from the same family. Really cool. Next, let's bring in another classic Papo figure. It's the green Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is actually becoming really rare now. If you want to see reviews for any of these Papo dinosaurs, we've reviewed the entire line so far, so do check out the links down below to see reviews for each one. But you can see these two scale up nicely as well. They look like they're engaged in battle, which is actually really cool. I think the Baryonyx might be a little bit oversized here. I'm not sure. Do correct me in the comments if you know more. And lastly, let's bring in our good friend. It's Off-Color Alan. You can see he scales up nicely with this Baryonyx. I actually love the detail of Papo figures next to old Jurassic Park figures. It kind of feels like my dream Jurassic Park has come true. Thanks, Alan. There he goes. He's leaving the review table. So there we have it, guys. That was today's look at the brand new 2016 Baryonyx figure. I am a massive fan of this figure. I think it's really, really cool and definitely worth a pick up. There are some areas where I feel improvements could be made, but overall I'm satisfied that I've got a very detailed Baryonyx figure. I especially love the detail on the head, and also the interior of the mouth looks probably the most realistic we've seen so far. The areas where it lets it down are probably the sparseness and the contrast in the paint job, and also the overall finish with this clear coat that makes the dinosaur look a little bit too glossy for my liking. I like a little bit of contrast between the matte and the glossy of the claws and the skin, and I think in this case they've made the skin maybe too glossy. Will you guys be picking this one up? Let me know in the comments down below. In the meantime, guys, don't forget to enter the competition on the main homepage. You could be winning a hybrid Tyrannosaurus Rex from Hasbro. In the meantime, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. These dinosaurs and more can be found at everythingdinosaur.com, so be sure to check them out today.